This is the second bike.
This is the Factor LS. That's gonna be the first Factor bike I race actually. So
They don't even know where they are. They're on Physio Velo's channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, we're on Physio Velo channel right now.
And this is Adam Roberge from Jukebox Cycling.
If you didn't see the other video, there was a video of my road bike that was posted maybe like 1 week ago. So go see it. It's gonna be linked in the description below.
Okay, so yeah, your second bike.
Yeah, so this is the gravel bike. This is the first Factor bike I'm gonna race because Guillaume was nice enough to squeeze me in.
You were lucky enough to ask me at a time where there was no client incoming this morning.
So Guillaume,
and Simon was available, so it was kind of a amazing
match in heaven.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna race this bike in exactly 2 weeks. At the Shasta gravel grinder. So it's gonna be a preparation race for the Mid-South. Mid-South is the first big gravel race of the year. So if you want to see some recap of that, come into my channel.
Adam Roberge channel. Okay, Simon, you can come here, and Adam, just for your information, if this cup is stuck, the best trick is use any wrench you have.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, and you just pop it out, okay? Because sometimes a lot of time they get stuck.
Okay.
So you need to, because it's grippy, it's made to stuck there, kind of.
So for those that didn't see the other video, go see it and tell Guillaume in the comment which one you think looks the best between the two.
You mean
in terms of color?
Oh, in terms of color.
Like which one would you like to have in your garage? That's the question.
I think I don't know.
What's your answer, Guillaume?
I would prefer to ride this one.
Yeah?
I think it's more like a dad's bike. It's more comfortable.
Yeah, no, it's for sure more comfortable. Like you see, it's longer.
Yeah, the wheelbase. Yeah, we just started the video, so the wheelbase of this bike, because we just take out the Astro VAM, the Factor Astro VAM. So now you can see that the wheelbase of this bike is a slightly longer one. Why?
More stability, I guess.
Yeah, because it's intended.
More comfort, more stability for the gravel.
Yeah, so this bike is...
Because the geometry, what I like about the LS is that it's almost the same geometry as the Astro, so I can switch bike without feeling like it's not the same bike at all, but there is still a slight adjustment to make it, like I said, more stable.
Yeah, and because Adam, one of the things is now this is kind of a gravel bike, but the thing is Adam is racing his gravel bike as he would race his race bike. So this is just like meant for you to be a bike fit of a race bike on a gravel bike.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you would just fit a gravel bike for someone that doesn't ride road bike at all, maybe the fit would be different, I assume, a little bit.
Yeah, because they don't have your experience of racing, so we want them to be more stable, and maybe they want to load some stuff on their bike. This will make difference in the fit. So now we need to use as you saw in the first video, our bike fitting platform is very unique, and now this bike is like 14 millimeter higher because of the
tires.
Yeah. So I need to make it level before we start the fit.
Yeah, c'est vrai, hein?
Because it's
didn't talk about that. Yeah.
Let's talk about being level, Ada.
Yeah. No, but that's actually like a great point. Like when
Yeah.
If you're riding with your tire, I mean, most of people now have a direct drive, so it's not.
But even the direct drive, if they don't take the time to assess the height of the skewer or the true axle to make sure that the back is the same at the front, they can be riding all winter like down slope,
going
up a hill. Yeah, and I was like, this is one of the key things I say to every client. I'm like, make sure your bike is level. He's like, oh yeah, but I use the shim that comes with it. I'm like, yeah, but it's it's not. It may not be perfect, so you need to make sure. So other question or other things I need to know about your your gravel practice?
No, I don't. Like I said, I think the goal will have to be approximately the same fit as the road bike, because I want to be able to change bike without
easily
feeling the change too much.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, it's especially this bike, I feel like is different, a lot different from my other gravel bike that I was riding last year in terms of geometry. So I'm just excited to see how it feels.
Yeah, because the Pinarello was, I don't know which size it was.
It was, so this is 58, like the Astro, but the Pinarello was a 59.
Okay.
So it was a little bit different, yeah.
Okay.
And the geometry was also different, so yeah.
First, we will assess the saddle height, because as you saw in the other video, we finished the fit, we did the bike fitting chart for it, so we already know your saddle height, except the crank is 2.5 millimeters longer on this one.
Yeah, you're right.
You're so exhausted by that. So we know that we want something close to. This is too high. So I will set up the saddle height, then we can assess the cockpit drop and decide what do we do with that first. Okay?
It's gonna be interesting. We'll see what's the difference between the 172.5 and the 175 then, if there's one.
Yeah. Probably a little, because if I ask you kindly, which bike would you ride the saddle higher?
Yeah, I will ride the saddle higher on the 172, I guess.
Yeah, and also because this bike is intended to be very on nice surfaces.
Yeah.
This is on rough surfaces. So
yeah, you might want to have just an extra
millimeter maybe, because this bike is aimed for stability. So the first thing is not to crash.
It's always the first.
No, but I know how fast you go, and you need the terrain. So right now I want you to rate my English skills from a scale to 1 to 10. Is it more like an 8? Smo said a 3. Come on.
I think the geometry is similar. But like just here you can see that it kind of go up here.
Yeah, it was close.
So I feel like it's close, but I'm not sure if it's the same.
So it's 2 millimeters higher, this one?
Okay.
So it's pretty close. Maybe. We'll see. And it's pretty close. It's very.
That's what I like. Yeah.
I would say it's kind of the same.
Yeah. So it's just that the bike is a little bit longer because it's slacker.
It's longer on the wheelbase.
Yeah, exactly. So it's slack.
But not necessarily.
Not on the top.
Yeah, because you have slack, so like it's more open.
Yeah, like a mountain bike is like.
Yeah, it's like a triangle, so it's just a bit more open.
Yeah, that's what you want.
So we can use your. So the funny stuff, the nice part with electronic sheet is we can assess mostly the same fit before you step on the bike. So I will just make sure that the saddle setback is mostly close, because we have a different of crank length. So right now people may ask me, maybe you don't, but maybe you will ask, why do I fit people on their bike and not on the fit bike first and then translate the measurements to their bike? So for just a moment, I will come back to you in a second. Okay, so we need more setback on this one. We'll see how do you feel. So the thing is, I go faster if I have 2 hours with the clients. Usually this is what we take for a bike fit. It goes faster to use their bike to assess the bike fit than to do like a perfect bike fit on the fit bike and then to translate it. Yeah. It's good to see also where is the rider coming from, because he's injured. And is it like a condition that needs to be taken care of in physiotherapy?
Yeah.
Or is it all
the
bike fit fault? This is a good thing to assess people on their bike. So you're kind of a special species of cyclist because you change bikes so often. So this is less downslope, but this bike needs to be a bit more stable, so we'll see if you like that.
Okay.
We will change it as you need.
Okay.
And then, because we have right now the right saddle height, we can assess the cockpit drop. If you can get me the level, it's at the back of your stuff. Sorry. Okay, so coming back to the level stuff. So right now it's really less drop. It's like 4 centimeters difference. So we can go and slam this, because even if we slam it, it will be much higher than your other bike. A few minutes later.
A few minutes later.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Ada is just saying again that the closest we can get those 2 BikeFits,
Yeah, the better.
the happier you would be. So this is you know what this is?
I don't know the name in English, sorry.
Oh, yeah, the name in English. I just call it the headset plug, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know.
It goes there. Then you need to tighten this tighter than you tied it. Well, you can ask Addison, just ask Addison.
Stay tuned for another
ask your
build
mechanic
video.
about it, sorry. Okay, so we need to do the same thing as we did to your other bike. So very important, the extender plug, I think it's the name.
Okay.
It needs always to be tightened at like 8, 9, 10 Newton meter, depending on the recommendation of the bike.
Okay.
Because what you screw in,
Yeah.
if it's not tight enough, when you will tight this one, you will untie the other one.
Yeah. Oh, I've done this a lot of times.
Yeah, this is usually when I see people like pro cyclists, like younger than you, like 16 years old.
That's one of the first
Half
things you
of
tell
the time,
them.
the expander plug is loose,
Yeah.
and like the steering column is loose.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just coming back from the bike shop. I'm like, oh nice. Which bike shop? May I call them? So Anna, have you already ridden the GRX?
So on my other bike, I had GRX at the back, so it was like really helpful. So there's the clutch here, and yeah, having that clutch, I think, is a must when you're riding gravel, because if not, the chain is just flopping around. But I was running like classic Ultegra at for the
Front crank.
the front crank, and also the brakes. I don't know how much the crank changed, but for sure the clutch is a big change. But having the GRX at the front is also a change I'm really happy about, because if you see, compared to the road bike, like it's bigger, but there's also an angle. So when you're going down with rocks and everything, like this is so stable. Because the problem with the road bike, and it's meant for that, is that having those less high, what's the name in English?
The what? Handlebar?
No.
Shifters?
No.
The quoi?
Hoods. Having those less, it gives you more flexibility on how you place your hands, so it's cool because you can get more aero, you can change your hands position. But for gravel, having the GRX, this grip is like you have to have it when you're going down very rugged, because that's the safety. Because last year I didn't have it, I was just running Ultegra hoods on my gravel bike, and I would have to go down in the drop, if not it was too dangerous. So that's one of the things I'm more excited about, actually, like just having that safe hood position.
And that's funny that you talk about this, because safety is very often like underlooked.
Yeah.
It's not the first concern, but one of my job as a bike fitter is, and also a physio, is people must recover and not get injured. So safety on a bike is something very, very, it's something we need to talk to every client. Like, do you feel able to reach your water bottle?
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's very important. Okay, step on the bike. So the saddle is just a tiny bit, like 3 millimeters forward than the other bike.
Okay.
Because you have a slight setback on this one, and this one is kind of a zero offset. So the funny thing about this bike is that your center of gravity is 2 centimeters.
No, I feel it.
Compared to your road bike, with this bike fitting platform that we built, we know your center of gravity, and it's slightly forward of the crank of the center of the bottom bracket. It's like 20 millimeters compared to 40 to 50.
It's like the bike feels the same, but it doesn't.
It will ride the
It
foot.
feels like stable. That the position feels less aggressive.
Yeah, and we can correlate it because your center of gravity is not at the same place. So this is funny because this is exactly, I mean, very closely the same bike fit that we did. The same,
but it's still different.
But your center of mass. So that's why the bike geometry dictate very much the use of the bike.
Yeah.
So okay, go back to pedaling. You can stop at the bottom. So how do you feel the saddle height, Ada, on this bike?
Good.
It's good? It's close to what you know? Are you sure? You're like...
J'ai l'impression que I have the impression that I'm a little bit forward on the bike.
Okay, and your knee extension is just a bit more extend? So you're just, because the knee extension that we look at is not the same on the other bike.
Oh no?
So we need to maybe lower it and set it back a little bit, just a couple of millimeters. But yeah, it's true because I took the measurement of the saddle setback and you were 3 millimeters at the front. So it's very interesting because Ada is used so much to ride his bike that he can tell those millimeters. Yeah, this is okay. It's easy to work with Ada. You can step off the bike.
Merde, ça feel bien là, le bike là.
He likes his bike again. He just likes his bike. So we will put it. We put it back, just 3 millimeters.
Yeah.
And then we will reassess.
I will give it
5.
Maybe not exactly like the road bike though.
Okay, that's perfect.
I don't. Maybe like right now I feel like it's not that bad. I'm wondering maybe I have this feeling because this is higher.
Okay.
Because I feel like the saddle position could use a little bit of tilt towards the front, but I feel like it's almost perfect, but I wonder if it's because that handlebar is higher.
Yeah.
Because I feel on the bike I feel less like this and more like this.
And the thing with the saddle tilt, now I moved it a little, but the saddle setback is we will be limited by the maximum setback we can put on the saddle, because clearly this is something interesting. This is a 0 millimeter offset seat post.
So is it more of like...
This one, yeah, you see, there is a slight curve here. So we can see, I just take my measuring tape. Where is it? Juste derrière tes pédales. Yes. So if you look at this bike, the center, this one is just a bit off center, so it may be a 10 millimeter setback, 10 to 15 millimeter. This one is really a 0 offset, so that's why. So you, yeah.
I said that
he can't wait
about riding my bike.
He can't wait to ride his bike. Okay, step on the bike.
I like fat bike, but very slow.
Okay, go on the bike.
It's funny, like I don't really feel. I don't really feel that much of a difference in terms of the saddle angle.
Okay, it's still.
It feels a little like still a little.
I just want to know if you would prefer those.
Inside, yes, 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 please.
Inside, please.
But yeah, it feels very like a.
Do you prefer this? It's also a bit lower. Is it too low?
Yeah, it's. I would put it a little bit higher.
You prefer to have your safety brake like this one?
Yeah, this like.
Okay, more inside this one, but the height is good on this one. Oh,
yeah,
perfect.
And honestly, maybe it could be a little even
in
higher.
Between those.
No,
higher than this one.
Maybe this one. Like, put this one like this one, maybe.
Yes.
And this will. And the brakes feels, I think, maybe a little far, but.
Yeah, this is something we can adjust. The brake lever adjustment is always available.
Because in gravel, like, maybe the only thing that's gonna be different with my road bike, I kind of like my hoods in gravel to have a little bit more angle to give an extra security again. Yeah. And you feel like, I don't know, when you go down, because the bike is in an angle going down, I kind of like having the hoods a little bit higher.
Sure.
So you feel like you're more on this even field. But yeah, this is good.
This is good. So a bit inside.
Yeah, I think this one is pretty perfect. So I would put the other one as. Because I feel like this is high.
Yeah. I mean, you're maybe because the saddle right now is not perfectly set up. So we will wait till the saddle is perfectly set up to decide if this is okay. So as we said in the last video, usually we do the foot, the saddle, and the cockpit. So FSC, and we will try to make sure the saddle is rightly positioned before we assess the position on the. This is my coworker. Salut.
Speak in English here.
So yes, we are a lot of physiotherapists working here at Bike Fitting.
Hello.
You can go, Ariane. It's in English today. Okay, so yes, let's go back to the saddle. You can step off the bike. So for the tilt, we will need to undo the cup. You remember this funny part? So as you told me, 1.8 is not enough.
No, I was,
Because the last bike you finished at 2.4.
Okay.
So you're pretty current, like in line with yourself. This is good. So you can hold that. This is a very cheap device you can get for 30 bucks. It's better than your iPhone
The problem with the iPhone is that if you have a case, that's not even like
people forget about that.
Man, très fort.
I'll buy a lottery ticket. Okay, so now we are back. A few minutes later, saddle tilt. C'est ça qu'on a fait. That's what we did. It's more what you're used to.
Ouais, non, c'est bon, je pense. C'est bon.
And the thing is, the cockpit drop is different, but the use is different. So will you prefer to go lower? Maybe. But I think you should ride it outside before deciding if you go lower. So how is your saddle height? Right now the saddle,
good.
The saddle is good. And then you're just hesitating about the cockpit drop, right?
Yeah.
Because you would like it more like the Astro VAM.
Yeah.
So maybe you can ask Addison to your mechanic to look if he can go lower.
Maybe like the other one,
I think it will be it would be okay to go with that.
Because how much would it decrease? Like
I will just assess if you want to step off the bike, which how is the cockpit drop right now, so we can decide how far away we are from the.
Yeah, just to have an idea. I feel like it's not that high, but it's still. I feel like it's still higher.
7.4, and this one was 9.8. Okay. So you have 2.4 millimeter difference, 2.4 centimeter difference.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. And this is like.
You would remove probably like 15 millimeters, so that would be still 10 millimeters higher.
Ouais, pour vrai, je pense que c'est sûr que c'est ça qui marche.
Oh, ouais.
Okay. Ouais. Oh, ouais, non, je suis pas mal sûr que c'est ça. Fait que je vais dire de mettre celle-là.
So you can go with that, and you will have much like the same cockpit drop. Okay, so part 2. If you have any question, make sure to put them in the comment below. We will assess your mountain bike shoes, right? Because you will race. Why at that?
Yeah, so now we pretty much did the same fit as the road bike because we have the road shoes. But so gravel racing is weird
it's very
in that
trendy.
sense. Yeah, it's trendy for sure. But it's weird in that sense because you always have to choose your equipment depending on the race. And pedal is a big thing that people kind of underestimate in my opinion. Like for personal preference, I prefer road pedal because I feel like I'm able to transfer, I don't know, more power. It's maybe just a feeling, but I feel it's more stable. But some course you don't have the choice because there's a lot of running, there's a lot of getting out of the bike, and with road pedal you're just not going to be able, like especially if there's mud, like this can get full of mud and then next thing you know you cannot clip your pedal anymore. So it's, yeah, some races you need those mountain bike shoes. So it's gonna be interesting to understand how much the different shoes will affect the fit, because I know it does. How high you sit on the pedal is actually changing a little bit when you have different pedals. So yeah, let's see. What's your opinion? Do you think it's gonna
change your saddle height?
Yeah. Let's change the saddle. Yeah. Do you change the saddle height?
We'll see.
Because it's exactly the same shoes. The only difference is the pedal and the cleats, pretty much.
So the nice thing about what Adam is doing is you have two different pair of shoes.
Yeah, no, it would be
because they are not the same for those more beginner watchers. They
for
are
sure.
not the same cleats. They need different shoes.
No, I would say, like, honestly, most people, especially for training, like I would always run a mountain bike or gravel pedal rather than road stuff. Yeah. But if you're very picky and you really like the road shoes feeling, then. And the thing I'm having trouble also is understanding how to have my feet approximately at the same place with road and mountain bike pedals.
But the feeling won't be the same because the cleat surfaces is not the same.
Yeah.
It's much wider on the road. But for sure we'll try to put your foot at the same place. If you want to get out of trouble, you can use liquid wrench before stripping any bolt.
Yes.
Sometimes it's
one of the worst trouble ever.
Sometimes it's a requirement. Look at this! It works like magic!
So this is special stuff right here. We have...
Why? It's a $5 box at Canadian Tire. It's liquid wrench.
I was talking about the special cleats from Silka, but...
But I think having the right tools for the job...
Yeah, I'll buy one. Like, the amount of...
trouble you
can have with stripping. Screw is one of the worst thing in cycling, eh? Maybe not. Maybe crashing on the road.
Having the wrong size bike.
Yeah, this is not a good one. Trying to have a smaller size
bike
because you want the longer stem.
So do you want the width of stems to be larger on those ones for the cleat? Do you know? You like them center?
Yeah, I feel like, it's a little bit large. I'm a little bit leaning towards the larger.
But not at the maximum of it.
I feel like they're naturally larger than the road pedal sometimes.
Depends on the center of your... Yeah, we can have a look at that.
But maybe that's why. Maybe that's because when I ride those shoes, I'm always on a mountain bike or on a fat bike. You know?
Yeah, and the width is always...
Yeah, that's maybe why I feel that.
Okay. You can go. Is it
Ah non, t'as mis... Ah, ok, t'as ton torque, toi, là.
Yes, I have.
Ok.
I'm good with that. I hope it's not daycare. It's not daycare, so it's not important. Anything other than daycare and my wife, it's not important.
C'est comment c'est plus pesant des suites de montagne, man. Check ça, man.
Yes.
Fou, hein?
It's a bit crazy. All right. Let's get back to business. So, first one, before you start pedaling, how do you feel the saddle height? Is there a difference for you?
I don't really...
No difference? Okay, you can start.
Yes, we can see, but I don't really...
Okay, so this is the... Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit, I feel like...
We will measure it.
I don't know. No, I don't really...
It looks to me pretty much the same.
Yeah. Then je serais down, là.
Yeah, it's good. We will assess your knee angle here. So this is 32, this is exactly... Whoa, sorry, small.
Ça, je serais-tu down pour vrai?
This is exactly what you had on the other bike. So I always use my foot as my third hand. 34. This is exactly the same. This is the same knee angle you had on the other bike. So.
Man, je suis down, là.
So it's not much trouble. You just swap the pedal.
Nice.
Swap, swipe, swap.
Swap, see? Swap.
Just do it. Just do it. Okay, so you can stop pedaling. Now I just want you to assess the saddle tilt. Okay, without your hands, like we did on the other bike. So we are mostly at the same saddle tilt as, yeah, it's good. If you go on the aero position on your bike, go on, pedal like this.
Ça a l'air bon, man. On dirait que j'ai de l'air bas, c'est juste mon feeling, je pense. Peut-être un peu, on dirait que j'ai de l'air de 200, genre 2 mm plus bas, mais c'est sûrement moi.
Ben, it can be 2 mm lower. So you can stop pedaling. The thing is you have the same knee angle.
Okay, but
so we know that biomechanically you're working the same, so it will be easy to switch between bikes. Okay. Yeah, you have much more float on those mountain bike cleats, and you don't like that because you're not you're from a road bike perspective. So okay, so you asked your mechanic to lower this.
Yeah,
it's okay for me to go this way. Yeah. And as we said before, your center of gravity is at the same. It's at 20 millimeters at the front of your bottom bracket, where your factor Astro VAM was like at 5.
Okay.
So like cornering with this bike will be much more fun and fast than this one.
But this one will go better on straight line technically.
It will be stable.
Yeah, stable, yeah, more stable.
Okay. So you can, yeah, you want to tie them. Maybe you want to use some liquid wrench also on this.
Maybe I'll just change the...
Yeah, you can just change. Yeah. Just step on the bike one last time so I can build your bike fitting chart.
C'est juste que l'angle va être un peu différente.
Long. Yeah, it will be slightly lower, but I don't mind because we will see you back with other bikes to come. So you can stop pedaling. I made my measurements. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see other bike fit from Ada. Make sure to subscribe to Ada Robert's channel. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. We'll happy to answer you. Yeah. And anything else?
No, stay tuned for
just win those races.
BikeFit and a mountain bike BikeFit in April or something.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah.
Ciao.